right, let's just get this out of the way here right at the start so that you and I are both on the same page as we move through this video. This isn't about body shapes in the normal manner of speaking. I feel like the most traditional or popular way to think of body shapes is like hourglass, rectangle, apple, pear, triangle. And yes, that's important to note, but there's another category of body shapes that looks more at the longitude or the vertical proportions of your body rather than just your shoulders and your hips. Because honestly, I think this is a very overlooked topic and yet affects all of us. And if this is your first time here, hi, I'm Jules. I do videos every week on fashion, style, and shopping. I also have a short torso, and so I do a short torso styling video series. And so if you have a short torso, I really recommend you subscribe to my channel. But even after this video, if you learn you don't have a short torso, you know, I'd love it if you still subscribe. So I know right away, because you clicked on this video, you just want to know what kind of torso you have. So let's get into that. And actually, by the way, real quick, I just want to set some ground rules for this video. There will be no body shaming tolerated in the comment section. You will get blocked, you will get deleted. But then also I encourage you, if you see anyone speaking badly about their own bodies in the comments, please build them up. This isn't a place for us to be like, oh, I have this body type, it really sucks. No, girl, you have a great body. You are amazing. Your body's amazing, seriously. All right, let's get into it. So there are three general groupings when it comes to what kind of torso you have: proportionate, long, and short. And yes, this first way is very general, but don't just take it at its word. Don't be like, oh, well, I fall into this category, so I must be. I really encourage you to look at all of these different steps to double check where your proportions are so that you can really know where your torso fits on the spectrum. Yes, there's three different groupings, but there is a spectrum, and some people have really long torsos and some people have kind of long torsos, and that's okay. It doesn't make you any more or less of a short torso or long torso person. It's weird that I have to say that. Okay, so as a general rule, if you have longer legs for your height, then you might have a short torso. Conversely, if you have shorter legs for your height, then you have a long torso. If you feel pretty equal, then you might be proportionate. It's so much more complicated than that. Okay, so now you have a general idea of like, oh, I do have longer legs, or maybe you have shorter legs and you've always been a little self-conscious about your shorter legs. Oh, well, maybe it's because I just have different proportions. So now let's test that. Now this test is also really easy. Instead of just thinking, you can actually use your hands. So next what I want you to do is to take one hand, place it right underneath your bust, and place your second hand below it. Where is your belly button with your hands? If your belly button is right here, it means you have a proportionate body. If your belly button is anywhere below that, it means you probably have a long torso. And if it's above that, like mine is, then you have a short torso. But let's dive even deeper, because you can have a longer rib cage, you could have a higher waist. There are so many different ways your torso can still be proportioned. So now when I think of torsos, I think of your shoulders to your hips. This is what I think of with torsos. Some people include the neck and head, which kind of makes sense. If you're gonna look at your body in proportion, look at your legs and how your legs fit into the rest of your body, your head and neck do play a role in that. Because when you're looking at someone from far away, you're not just looking at them from here down and being like, okay, they seem proportional. No, you're also looking at their neck and head. And hang in here with me, because I know this feels like a little bit of a tangent, but I promise it's worth it. A lot of how you feel in your body depends on your neck and head, because when you look at yourself, one, you're usually always seeing your neck and head because you need your eyes, but also the majority of the time, I'm gonna guess you're looking at yourself in a bathroom mirror where you pretty much just see this part up. You know, you're doing your hair and your makeup and you're focusing on this part of your body. So if this part of your body feels different from this part of your body, you might start to feel like you don't quite feel comfortable, or like feel like you know what your body is. Does that make sense? This is something I'm so guilty of too, because if you look at me from here up, I look like I should be taller, I should be longer and leaner than I actually am. And then once I step back, you're like, oh, well, her legs start right there, don't they? And it's actually because of my neck. I have a really long neck. So when I sit down, my neck actually takes up a significant portion of my upper body that's sitting down. But the opposite works too. If you have a shorter neck and a longer torso, your torso might feel extra long and maybe even longer than it actually is. But also, if you're proportionate and you have a short neck, you might have thought walking into this video that you had a long torso. But nope, it's just your mind playing tricks on you. like always. And because you're probably dying to know, if you want to know what kind of neck you have, you just put that same hand that you were just measuring your belly with, you put it underneath your chin. And they say generally if your hand touches your collarbone, you have a regular size neck. If it's shorter, you know, it's shorter, but if it's longer, like mine, I have to take 2 whole hands to get to my neck. So yeah, we got a long neck. And that's also really important for picking out how long you want your hair to be, what kind of haircuts you want. Not that there's a right and wrong way to do this. I am very much against saying to someone, oh, well, you have this type of body type. You really shouldn't wear that. If you want to wear that, cut your hair like that, go for it. I really don't care. That is not the purpose of this video. It's just so that you know your body. All right, this is a video all about your torso. So let's dive even deeper. Sorry, I'm already laughing just because I know this section. I know what I'm about to say. When you were sitting in your science classes and you know they had the skeleton hanging there, like the, not the real one, like the fake one where it's like talking about the bones. Did you ever look at it and go, my body doesn't line up to that? Like I was constantly comparing myself to a skeleton in science class. Like most people compare themselves to pictures of models. Like I did that too, but I was also looking at the skeleton in science class going, you look thinner than me. Like that is so messed up. And I would fixate on this and look at their rib cage and their hip bones and go, how do you have so much space in between your ribs and your hip bones? Like aren't all skeletons supposed to be the same? No, Jules, they're not. And so yes, I have Googled what the perfect skeleton looks like. And so let's bring up a picture of that, shall we? So this is where the perfect skeleton says your rib cage should end and your hip bones should begin. Now look at all that space for all those organs and all those spine vertebrae and all that stuff that you need and that every person has in their body. So now let's see what that looks like on me. So I'm gonna go up on my tippy toes so you can see a little bit better. My rib cage ends right here, or that is the kind of where it sticks out, you know, where in that part of the rib cage where it sticks out. So now if I try to find the top of my hip bone, where are you? There you are. Are you seeing this? They're level, identical, like same playing field. They are the same. So now you can see why I was always looking at skeletons going, how do they have so much room? That is so much room to work with. So here's the thing, you have the same organs in your body as everybody else. But the thing is, we're not all created with the exact same skeleton, and that's okay, that's fine, that's life. But at the end of the day, everyone has different real estate they're working with. They may be taller, they may just have longer torsos, but you know what I'm talking about when models, like bikini models, just have that beautiful, like just nice transition from their waist to their hips. It's because they literally have more room. And if you have a longer torso, maybe you don't think about that as much as you do your legs. And us short torso people don't think about our legs as much. Once you know the kind of torso you have, the kind of skeleton you have, it can be frustrating to know you'll never look like some bodies out there, but it's also really liberating because you know it's out of your control. Your torso affects how clothes fit, where and how weight is distributed throughout your body, how you'll carry a pregnancy, so many things. It's so much more than, oh, you don't have a perfect body? Go for a run. I have one more thing to share, and it's really important. Make sure you're following people who have similar body types to yours. Now, that doesn't have to mean everybody has to have the same body type you are and unfollow anyone who doesn't have the same body type as you. But for example, if you have a short torso and everyone that you follow on Instagram has proportionate or long torso bodies, those are the images that are going to be informing you how your body should look. But we've just talked about how structurally that's not going to work, and there's just going to be this huge disconnect that's only going to make you more frustrated. I don't want you to think that something is wrong with your body just because everyone else's body on Instagram is different from yours. So yeah, if you have determined you have a short torso, then please subscribe to my channel. But I also know there's going to be even more people who are watching who are proportionate or long torso. I'd still love if you subscribed. We still might have similar styles. That doesn't mean you can't subscribe to my channel. All I'm trying to say is, in addition to who you love and follow on Instagram, try to make sure you're also getting body images of people who do match your own body type. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up before you go. If you have determined you have a short torso, I'm going to leave my short torso styling video series right here for you to watch. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you very soon in my next video.